Of course, they're playing
Of
blitz,
course.
so you want to have loose clothing. I'm still surprised that I'm seeing so many long sleeve shirts
Yes.
for this competition
Yeah, well, maybe
across
this-
the board. And the
Actually, we've seen
players-
all the players with long sleeve shirts.
Exactly. Well, here we go. A little
E4.
shadoobing of the.
I reckon.
And E5 is on a near automatic
Yes.
for Magnus here.
Here it is.
But he's
There you
really-
go, E5.
Adjusting everybody. Do you do that, by the way, before the start of the game? Adjust.
I adjust the
E6?
knights.
You just adjust the knights.
I have them facing towards my opponent's king.
Clever. There you go. And the
Yes.
players are repeating very quickly the tabia. Of,
Yeah, this is a staple,
modern,
yeah.
the
Staple
Joko
of
piano. Yes.
Grandmaster chess.
And Bishop A7. Move order always very important at these top levels. Knight BD2. And we're going to see a H3 Rook E1 or something a little offbeat. Recalling again from their New York City World Championship match, it was the Joko piano in Game 10
H3 played.
that allowed Magnus to
Yes.
tie the match and then go on to win in the tiebreakers convincingly.
The tie break he won extraordinarily convincingly. It really was like.
B2, B4, grabbing some space on the queen side, and Magnus likes this recapture with the rook on E6, not going for the pawn structure.
Seen
I was-
the exact
This
same position
exact
I think
position.
we have.
in the
Was-
game of Vashier versus Magnus, if I
That's-
remember correctly.
Exactly.
Was it Vashier versus Magnus?
I don't know, but I believe this
Yes.
position
Yeah,
is
it's-
this exact position has been played
I think,
earlier in the
so.
event.
I think so.
And we've seen some D4 and then D5. Yes, this was exactly that game where Magnus actually had a nice position. He could have won a piece, and then he blundered that. He got into a lost endgame,
Right.
and he lost that.
Yeah, that was the
game.
Queen C6 where he missed the F5.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah.
Recall. So again, MVL in this position went D4,
D4.
Knight G6, D5,
Nice.
Rook E8, and it was Magnus who broke with C7,
C6.
C6.
And he had a good. I think he had a reasonable position until.
It was a great effort by
Yeah.
Magnus, by the way, I must say. C4, okay, a very different approach indeed by World Blitz champion Sergei Karjakin. C4, I'm ambivalent about this move. I'm not excited by the move, that is for sure. But given his chance, Knight G3, Knight F5, and now the question is, what should Black's approach
Is it-
be?
yes.
I'm thinking C6, D5, playing for the break. At the moment, the bishop on A7 is on an open diagonal, and maybe Magnus didn't want to see the diagonal being closed with a future C4,
Yeah.
C5. So
I'm
he's
going to take that
essaying a
pawn.
pawn
Yes,
sacrifice.
take the pawn. Then bishop D2.
A5 and bishop D2 to the knight comes back to pick it up, but wait a minute.
But the B
Rook
pawn is a little
B1.
bit fragile also.
Exactly, a little tender B7 morsel on tap there.
And whenever you put your knight on C6, I can play the rook to B5 because you don't have C6 anymore. So that's
Exactly.
another defense I have at my disposal.
Right, and after this move, Rook A8, it also means that A5, A6 can be played when needed.
Yeah.
Okay, Knight
Magnus
C6.
just ignoring it and maneuvering his pieces to.
Knight G3. A bit surprised by that one. I thought the knight might actually roost on D5. That is to say, Knight E3, Knight D5 might have been a preferred move, but away they go.
Magnus is playing with so much confidence, but to be honest, objectively, this doesn't look very appealing to me.
No, a pawn's a pawn.
A pawn is a pawn, yeah.
Well, yeah. White hasn't done anything. I mean, I'm liking this knight F5 is going to come. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Bishop.
Maybe maybe I play too aggressively in this turn.
No, you're doing great, Jovi. I'm also looking at Bishop E3, capture
Yes.
C5 to crash through on the B7 square on a
Yeah.
good day. And Magnus is going to have to show that his pawn sacrifice is justified. At the moment, I don't see it.
No, and you see, Magnus, with so much confidence, even at the beginning of the game, he took like 10 seconds to arrange his pieces.
Yeah.
After the clocks have started.
Yeah,
It's
I
true.
noticed that as
That's-
well.
that's
yes.
very true.
He was a little late, as we saw getting to the board, and he
He's
definitely
following
didn't
your
hurry
plan.
it.
There are some
Bishop
psychological
E6,
games being played here
For
between
sure.
these two guys. They know each other so well, and they know what makes the other one tick. You know.
Yeah,
I think Magnus has to prove a point, you know, because they did tie in a classical match
Right.
in New York, and ever since then, you know, Magnus is stamping his authority on Sergei.
Yes, and again, they did tie for first in the World Blitz Championship, but it was the tie breaks in the favor of Sergei
Yeah,
that gave
knight
him the
F5.
gold
I'm very
medal.
happy to see this move. I have dreams of a checkmate.
Indeed. Knight E6, in turn,
What if I just go
eyeballing
Queen B2
Queen
now?
B2. Now I'm going to combine it with which one?
Queen B2.
Queen B2.
Queen
Yeah,
B2.
that's
I just want to take another pawn.
exactly.
Well, Queen B2, Bishop E3,
Knight takes E3.
And the
or
knight
F
will
takes,
have-
no, F takes E3.
F takes E3.
F takes E3.
F takes E3.
Okay.
I guess maybe then you.
Then maybe I'm
Rook.
going to have to drop back maybe with my knight on C6 to D8 and just keep the B7 pawn.
But then maybe I could go A6.
B6, A5.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
two
well,
battering
now,
rams.
well, now actually Bishop takes H6 is threatened because Queen D2 has been played. I was
Indeed.
yeah.
Well, it virtually forces
Forces
Bishop
takes-
E3. No.
No.
Magnus H5.
Oh, confidence.
Totally. That
I mean,
knight
most
on
of us
F5.
would have immediately gotten rid of that.
We would be fearful that
Yes.
knight on F5 is really scaring the bejesus out of us. But at the moment, I don't see a breakthrough.
I'm considering Knight G5.
Knight G5.
With the
Yeah.
idea, if you take on G5, I'm going to take on A7 first. Knight takes A7 and then Queen takes G5.
And then you're perfectly set up for
Again,
checkmating
Knight
pattern.
G5 might actually not do anything. I'm just looking for, always I'm looking for consequences of my opponent's previous move. And that is H5. But I like what Sergei is doing.
Whoa, D3, D4.
Opening up the rook on B5 for
That's a theory. That's a theory.
Lateral actions.
But at the same time, it does free up Black's pieces, like the rook on E8 suddenly has a role, and the knights
Yeah.
as well.
Well, let's see consequentially here. So E5 takes D4. I'm assuming knight on F3 takes D4. Gosh, I'm not a big fan of my
Or
suggestion.
actually maybe Knight 5 takes D4, because I'm afraid if you take with a Knight 3 from D4, I can go Knight E5 maybe.
Okay, so E5 takes D4, Knight 5,
Takes D4.
D4, Knight C5.
No, he went
Blocking
with
the
a 3.
rook.
Well, he took with the other knight.
He did, and he did it very,
The
very
third
quickly. So
knight,
he's
3
following
takes
up on
D4.
his idea. So how does it go if I just vacuum the pieces off the board? Knight C6 takes D4. Bishop
Knight
takes
takes
D4.
D4.
Or knight takes D4. Okay. I want to play Knight C5.
But then I go F3.
F3. Then I'll go C6. Get rid of that rook.
Okay,
That rook.
I draw back with
Wait
the
one
rook on
second.
B2.
Wait one. So you have to take once.
And he has.
And you have to take once because otherwise knight takes knight is happening.
And he's bishop takes D4. Now he's eyeballing rook takes E4.
Rook takes E4, bishop takes
But
G7.
rook takes H. There's also
Bishop
rook
takes G7.
Yes.
I
And
have a feeling that should be working.
It looks.
Or bishop C3, yeah, that's
if
much
there was a
better move.
challenge, Sergei backed off the challenge of the sacrifice. I know what you mean because your rook on the 5th looks very attractive, but maybe Black's king just goes F87.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, but Bishop C3. Magnus has regained his pawn, but he's facing threats of Rook H5, Rook
Queen
G5,
G5,
Queen G5. I think it's time to try to plug up that diagonal, Knight E5. I'm a little bit worried that A6 at the
Yes,
right
A6.
time.
Knight E5, Queen D5 could potentially be an unpleasant 3. Because after
By
rook takes
the
C4,
way-
bishop takes C5,
By
and
the
if you
way,
go...
yeah, the time,
Look
we
at
have to
the
look at the time
clock.
situation with
A huge factor. Magnus's clock is really ticking quickly.
And I'm pretty sure right now, those 10 seconds he lost at the beginning of the game, he's regretting a little bit.
And
Yes.
Magnus boldly saying, go ahead and
Really?
play rook g5 or rook h5. I've got defensive resources.
Okay, and
Is
if I
he-
go rook takes h5?
With the idea rook h8.
Oh,
It's
you
a
stole
lovely
the idea
idea.
from me. Yes,
Yeah,
rook h8. Yeah.
followed by queen h6 and queen takes g7
Seven,
check
checkmate.
and mate. So rook takes h5 is going to have to be bet by knight e5. I
Or
believe.
queen
Yeah.
e6.
Or queen e6.
This is true.
Nakamura won against Topalov.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Thank you.
the luckless Veselin Topalov not showing his best in the 5 minute. Okay, well, rook takes h5, time to win some material, but
What about you know?
you had a thought.
I had a thought about queen d5. That, no, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Just the
It
bishop
doesn't
on
work.
c3.
It doesn't work. No, no.
Good morning, good morning.
No, it has,
It has been very early
it
here.
has
We've
been.
had early starts here in St. Louis. Of course, those 4 a.m. wake-up calls are
How
really
about-
enjoyed by everybody
How
on
about
set.
rook g5?
Rook g5.
Concrete,
Yeah.
as concrete as possible.
Okay. I'm thinking, well,
Rook
Rook
takes
takes
h5 was played.
and queen e6
Queen e6.
instantly, not knight e5 as maybe I had suggested, but queen e6 protecting the h6 square so you didn't have this combination of rook h8.
What if rook
Good
e1
move.
now?
Good move. Rook e1,
Yeah.
queen will cannot go to g6. That's a
Because of rook
landmine.
g5.
Rook g5 would win on the spot. Wow. And Sergei's clock is ticking down very smartly as well. 32 seconds I'm seeing to Magnus's
Yeah.
27. The-
Rook e1. I like rook e1.
Yes.
Now the question is rook e1. I think the only move must
Knight
be
e5.
knight e5.
and he's played
He's
rook
played-
e1.
And queen.
Queen g6, a move
Really?
that we had said
So queen takes g. Okay, he's trying to create a
he,
blockade.
he was forced to sacrifice his queen, give up his queen, but that queen on g5, oh my, hovering near the king. Very important move, rook c5, to prevent this move, rook g4, which was a winning threat. A winning threat has now been alleviated, but rook g4, and ooh, he played that quickly,
Queen b3 with the idea rook takes g6.
Yes.
clearly.
Clearly.
But, well, we have to just move our king. Rook h. And
you
the
can-
combined powers of queen and rook are really showing that the rook and knight are not adequate at the moment. But again, looking for concrete inroads. Do you see it yet, Christian?
I don't. Just create attacks over and over again, and then at the right, rook e4 with the idea maybe f4 in the
And
future.
Magnus is finding shelter for his king. He's put his king in the center, but
What about
behind a
just
number
running? Why don't I just run with my h pawn? Why do I need to?
and the moves are coming fast and furious. Finally, a infiltrating type of move, queen f6,
f4.
f4,
Oh,
the
start
knight on
running,
e5.
Running with the king side.
Yes,
G4,
g4,
H4.
h5, h4. Let's get
Remember,
going.
remember, Maurice. Maurice said it's all about the pass pawns
Yes.
and the ability to create pass pawns. Let's do that.
Breaking news.
MVL has won his game.
I think he's winning. I don't know if he has won yet.
No, he has
And
won.
we have a
We have
confirmation of a victory, indeed. Okay, too late.
Yep, you can do
H6,
it.
rook G6, king. You can't take the queen because the pawn is on. And Magnus hesitating with his king, barely getting in time.
Queen E5.
F5, yeah.
H7,
H7, yeah.
and then
This is game over. This is game over.
Queen H6, and the pawn is unstoppable. Magnus going down. It's all about the clock.
Oh,
And two queens. Oh, queen f6 check would have ended the game on the spot.
he's got no. Okay, 5.
Queen c2 check. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Very, very, a lot of nervousness going on here. Is somehow Magnus has managed to get to knight and two pawns versus queen. He's trying to set up a fortress.
Yeah, he's a nice
No,
and tricky
it's not gonna-
piece.
Yes, don't we know it? And you notice that the world blitz champion is keeping his queen as far away from any knight forks as he possibly can. His technique is a little bit shaky, but it's enough.
It's enough, yeah.
As Magnus is facing a devastating queen check. Yes.
Yes, put it
again,
King b6.
not
King b6.
allowing King b6. And as Zugzwang is about to be presenting itself, Magnus recognizing it's hopeless,
it's hopeless.
Next move,
Now
King
it's
b6.
King
and
b6, yeah.
a handshake.
Oh,
As Sergey is given another window
exactly.
for his nearest rival, MBL, who won.
He won, so it means that, that Magnus is 1 point ahead.
Oh boy, do we have some action in store in these
What is gonna
remaining
happen?
rounds. I can't predict anything.
We can't predict anything.
And nobody saw MBL coming out of nowhere.
Exactly,
You
you
saw
know, if they had a clear margin in the morning, you know, Hikaru, Magnus, it was 1 point
And
between them.
Grishik maybe
Grishik was
closest.
maybe close, and then suddenly MVL.
Wow. Christian,